Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sorry, I'm to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Monday Night Raw, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, yeah, this is the penultimate episode of Monday Night Raw before we head into the Elimination Chamber, and I gotta say, for one reason or another, this episode of Monday Night Raw appeared to be very polarizing. Some people were like, yeah, that was a good episode. And some people thought it was just awful. I thought there were some highs, and I don't really think there was that many lows overall. I personally thought the show flowed pretty well. Like, I was pretty surprised when we got to the main event. I was like, oh, it's already time? Yep, it is 8:50 here in my time. So, yeah, it's about time that we start to wrap it up. And again, like, all the segments for the most part pretty much worked for me. The best segment of the night to me was everything we did with the men's side of the Judgment Day. The segment with CM Punk, Finn Balor coming out to his original music. JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio are with them. Punk talking about, like, yeah, I know how it used to be, because Balor was talking about how, you know, he beat Roman Reigns on his first night. He went around the whole entire world. Like, you really try to beef up and sell that Finn still has unfinished business with Roman as well. Because even though, still deep down, you put a gun to my head, hell, you don't even need the gun. I'm just going to tell you, no, Punk's winning for sure. But what I like about it is that, yes, in a way, it's filler for Punk. But in a way, it's like a feud to get to a feud for Finn Balor. Like, Balor is the main character in this feud, even though Punk is the world champion. Because we know Punk's facing Roman. But the question is, what are we doing with Balor? And I like how Balor is still saying, look, I have unfinished with Roman Reigns, just to show that 1% in you to go, maybe Balor can win it. But the whole thing of, like, look, I know who you used to be, but you didn't bring these two guys up to your level. You stooped down to them. They're holding you back. They're the reason why we can't see you in that light anymore. And, you know, that's why they got to fight, because he's got to show to him that, no, you obviously didn't learn your lesson the first time we fought in Belfast, so now I got to teach you that lesson again, because you robbed me of my last chance to be with AJ Styles, so on and so forth. And JD McDonough is, like, seething at the opportunity to beat up CM Punk when Punk turns around and Balor's holding him back. Again, I really like everything we did, and then everything we did in the clubhouse as well. JD going like, no, if we hit him, he's going to be weaker, and then you could become world champion. And Balor's going, no, I have to win this on my own. He goes, okay, well, then you do what you got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. And they split off, and Dominic's like, but guys, I have a match. And as long as the end game is Saturday, the men at least break up. I think the women are going to stay together up until WrestleMania. But as long as the end game on Saturday is, as a collective group, JD and Dom can still be together. Okay, if he wants to go out on his own, then let him go out on his own. But the minute, if he loses, we kick him out. Because he's not going to use us. He obviously doesn't want us. He's the one who's been holding us back. He's the one who's been making these claims. So if he wants to go on his own, we'll let him go on his own. But the minute he loses, we beat him up. And I think that's how it ends. Clearly, to me, Punk versus Balor is the main event. It's in Chicago. Punk's going to have the home field advantage. It's a big thing. It's another reason why I think, just due to the star power what's on the men and what's on the women, that I think is very, very stacked on the women's side. You let the women's Elimination Chamber match actually go second this year, because I don't think either Elimination Chamber match is going to main event. But if one was going to, I would say the women main event. Star power is very, very intriguing on that side. Well, the men, we're taking some gambles on some areas there. So men open up Becky versus AJ, or you do Becky versus AJ first. Well, then you will go back-to-back chambers. We'll see what happens on Friday. I still think we might do Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre for the title on that show as well. Then you can really split it up that way. But obviously, you open with a chamber. The men's AJ versus Becky, then the women's chamber, and then the CM Punk versus Finn Balor to close out the show. Then at the end, after they lose, Dominic and JD are beating them up. Maybe Liv and Raquel going, yeah, you turned your back on us and all that stuff. Punk comes back, even out the odds. Maybe Stephanie comes out to beat up Liv Morgan. Then we can have some mixed six people tags on the road to WrestleMania. Then we could go off to Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the IC title. Now, some people did bring up in the background, because I'm only saying because I didn't catch it, or I did catch it, but I didn't read that much into it. But I think there's a fair read into is that in the clubhouse, Kane was being shown. And as you know, Kane is called the Big Red Machine, or he's, a demon in a lot of ways, right? So a lot of people think at the Chamber, the demon comes back. I think you hold off the demon until WrestleMania. Because if he's not going to win, I don't think you should waste the demon. Now, I don't necessarily mind, the demon losing, because I think Balor and the demon should be on the same level. Like, you shouldn't get extra health points just because you put some face paint on or anything. But it is... if we do it, I'm not going to mind it. But I would prefer if we didn't do that. But I do think it's reasonable enough to call out as well. Another program that was the other Judgment Day, the women, well, Liv Morgan to be precise. I wonder what's going on with Roxanne. I haven't seen her on TV for a few weeks. I saw she was in the hospital. I hope she's okay. I hope it's like just a flu or something like that, because I know the Judgment Day sent her a care package. And I know she was out of the hospital for Valentine's Day because her and her boyfriend, his name is missing me. Those could have been old photos, but it seemed like they were out on a date night from what I'm seeing. But I just hope Roxanne's okay. I wonder why she hasn't been on television is my only concern. But Liv was going to have a sit-down interview. Maybe she was going to tell who she was going to pick. I think by next week, you do have to make it clear she is picking Stephanie Becker, especially with how Stephanie really leaned in to her. On this, I did not mind Stephanie speaking all in Spanish. I had some people, have some friends saying, I didn't really like that she said it all in Spanish. I've seen some people online saying, I don't like how Dominic was translating. I don't know why Raquel can't be there. Why does Dominic have to be there? I actually like all of Spanish because Stephanie was able to convey much more emotion within her promos. Like, she as I struggle to speak English, she speaks fine English. But you could tell she has to think of the word and then she says it still, right? It's not completely fluent to her yet, right? Again, she speaks very well English, for sure. But, it's hard to convey emotion when you have to think of the words in Spanish, move them over to English, and then speak it out. I'm the opposite. I'm learning Spanish right now, and I have to think of the words in English and then convey them to Spanish, and then I'm able very roughly say it in Spanish. So I somewhat understand where she is coming from, is what I'm trying to say. Not to the degree of her level. I'm not saying it in front of thousands of people, but, I could somewhat understand where she's coming from. But to let her just go in Spanish and have Dominic translate, and I kind of wish, because last week, Liv's going, Dominic, what did she say? Dominic, what did you say? Like, I would have liked to see a segment between the two going, Dominic, no matter what she says, I want you to tell me. And she could have said that off the show as well, because I really appreciate it. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, and he's saying it like you're stupid, you're an embarrassment, you haven't worked hard, and I was able to convey some of the promo for sure. And again, I just liked everything that was going on about it. And if it was Raquel, because with teasing the girls are going to break up, I think they break up at Mania. I think Liv is going to beat Stephanie. And I do now think it's going to stay one-on-one. And after this program, I'm okay with it staying one-on-one. And, Raquel's going to be raising her hand going, she did it. And then, boom, clothesline, Liv Morgan. And then Liv Morgan turns babyface that way. Now, how do we do the Dominic scenario? Because I think Dominic's going to stay heel. Well, that remains to be seen. But, again, everything they did there, I really appreciate it. And I think next week, Liv has to go, I have made my decision. I pick you. And then the Women's Chamber is to face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. I wouldn't even put Liv on SmackDown this week at all. I think you keep it all like, okay, yeah, she's obviously picking Stephanie Monday. Here we go. The other promo segment, a lot of promos on this episode of Raw, by the way. I think there was only 4 matches. We had the 2 Chamber qualifiers, Penta versus El Grande Americano 2 in a number 1 contenders match. And then the 6 women, not the 6 women, the 6-man tag with LA Knight, the Usos, and the Vision. We'll get into that a little bit. But I'm getting the main talking points out of the way. The other one where it's really split a lot of people down the middle was the Becky Lynch and AJ Lee segment. And honestly, I get it both ways. Now, me personally, I like this one a lot more better. A lot more better. I'm telling you, I can't speak English that well either. But I like this one better than last week's. I thought I like the much more serious approach. Now, to me, Becky is still a little bit too over the top for me. I'm hoping when we do get to after Chamber and then we really lock in on the Mania program, because obviously these two are going to scrap it up again for WrestleMania. It needs to hit an extra level and it needs to be all serious, and we need to get the kooky comedy out of the way. To me personally is what I think. I think what really split these people down is that, one, I think we're miscasting it a little bit. And what I mean by that is that I think they're trying to convey AJ Lee and Becky Lynch in the same realm of Seth Rollins and CM Punk. And I don't think that's the smart way to go about it. You know, like, oh, she's jealous of me, she hates me because I did this, I had a 10-year break. In a lot of ways, it is the exact same story that they are conveying. But AJ and Becky don't have that natural hate that Rollins and Punk did for you to fully buy in. I think, and again, hopefully we do this afterwards with a much more serious tone. You can still bring up, oh, I gave you a 10-year head start, I have much better merch sales, I have all these things. And Becky should lean into the whole, yes, I am chasing you, and it pisses me off that you came back. And it's not about, oh, I hate you, you are a disservice to the industry. It's just, you are holding down the whole entire division with your return because you were a product of a different time. Something in that realm where, again, it's not about hate, where Becky is trying to convey herself as the good guy in a way. Goes, your time is up, my time is now. Fitting. I honestly did not plan that whatsoever. But, you know, your time is up, my time is now. I'm bringing it up. I am the best in the world. And it's not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated is saying it. Her whole entire shtick. And then I think once you get to that element and it goes into another level, I think people will be able to swallow the feud a little bit more. But right now, yeah, it's just, okay, yeah, but this is the first part. And also, it has been going on for a long time. This feud started in September. It is now February. And we are just now getting to match 1 of the one-on-one. It has straightened a little thin. So we need a big angle at the Chamber. We need a big angle on that following Raw. I think now you coast, and then when you get the Chamber, you really turn it up a notch. You have a banger match. You do whatever you got to do. You have a big angle for the Monday afterwards. So that way there is some life breathing back into it. It's the same with Drew and Cody, right? Like, we know we're going to get another round with them, and that feud has really ran thin in a lot of ways. And it's just really interesting to see how it's going to go about. Then, you know, we have the Penta versus El Grande Americano 2. I will say, I'll give it to WWE. At first, I was not interested in this mask versus mask program to go all the way up to WrestleMania. I now think that's the way we're going to go, and I'm okay with it. It has been very entertaining how we've been booking it. I mean, the wackiness that we did at the end here. Don't fully love that Penta is going to be the one that faces Dominic, simply because I've seen that match like 3 times by now, and Dominic has not defended the title. They even brought it up on Punk's promo. And like, I think out of the 5 times he has defended it throughout the whole entire year, Penta has been like 3 of them. And the other 2 have been John Cena. And then there was one other one with a pentagon. No, not pentagon. It's not hexagon, is it? It's someone from AAA that I cannot remember his name, but he is a shape. I do know that, but I don't think it's hexagon. Man, it's really bugging me that I don't remember his name. But, you know, he hasn't had a lot of defenses, and like half of them have been Penta, and now we're going to get another one. It doesn't really fully get me invested. I actually want to have my El Grande Americano 2 versus Dominic, because, again, there is some history there. I think there was a nice story to tell just for a little bit to pass the time. The elimination qualifiers, I thought they were a lot of fun. I think the right people won. Asuka deserved the win. Javon Evans deserved the win. Again, if Gunther's not going to win the Chamber, then he should not be in it. Same thing with Oba Femi. He had a little segment. He talked about his contract thing. We go to Friday. There's now a box that we are going to see that will be revealed at the Elimination Chamber. So, to keep tally, we have a mystery box, we have a mystery mask man, and we have a mystery phone caller guy. Because at the opening of Monday Night Raw, where Austin Theory is mad that he got screwed out because of the mask man, and that get thrusted to the 6-man tag, why is LA Knight offering to team up with the Usos, and why is Jay accepting the tag team? Anyway, they're talking, and, you know, he goes, I know you went higher up to that person. I was like, who's that person? I need to know who that person is. Just don't let it go. But yeah, now we have a masked person. We have a masked person who's attacking the Vision, which is likely to be Seth Rollins or Bad Bunny at this point. We have a mystery phone caller that could be The Rock, or someone else who's above Triple H that even scares Triple H. So that'll be interesting. And now we have this mystery box that will be open at Elimination Chamber. Just a lot of mysteries that need to be solved here. But yeah, again, overall, I really did like this episode of Monday Night Raw. I thought it flowed very good. I thought there was a lot of intrigue. I see the direction that they are going. Yeah, some things need to be heated up a little bit, like Becky versus AJ, just because the story has ran so thin. But overall, every segment to me really knocked it out of the park. But yeah, let's start confirming some things for WrestleMania. Monday, Liv chooses Stephanie. Okay, we're on. And then we know the clear direction for the Elimination Chambers. Let's do some things here and there. By post-chamber, let's really heat up the product, because even though I'm enjoying it, I can understand why some people are having some struggles with it. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Leave a like if you made this far in the review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. Don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you. Also squeeze every opportunity that you can. And until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.